Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, and I'm here again. And my reason for being here again today is because the mission that I was on yesterday and for 40 years prior, I've not been successful in it yet. However, it is so important, it is so significant because it works for you, the people, all of us as human beings. And it's so important, as I indicate, that I cannot turn it loose. I cannot turn it loose because it is a gift that I see from the Almighty of all creation. At least that's what the idea is in me. And that gift is to be given and received by all of you. And so that gives me a reason to still be here today. And I want you to think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Here in America, which is just a drop of the world, what would work here in America would work in the world. What would work here for any family will work for everybody here in this country. And the thing that we must always embrace is the truth. Now, I want you to understand this, ladies and gentlemen. When I speak to you, I'm speaking about a new way of life. When I say a new way of life, sure, we're going to be engaging in a lot of the things that already take place because most of the things that take place are essential in life. The problem is the exploitation that takes place that causes so much pain and suffering. The pain and suffering is the indication that we have missed the mark. And so, what my purpose here is to identify how to get back on the mark. And this is what I call living rich. And I only say that because you and all of us understand that living rich basically means that you can do the things that you want to do without the hassles, without the headaches. And so I'm speaking about you, we, all of us, being able to do the things that we want to do without the headaches. Now I want you to think about this, ladies and gentlemen. All things belong to a power that we cannot see. It belongs to what we call God. That's the earth I'm talking about. All of the resources on the earth, above the earth, in the earth, those that are seen or unseen, they're all from God. We had nothing to do with their manifestation. They exist. Oil, gold, diamonds, steel, you name it, it's here. And what is it here for? All of the things that it can be used for by all that can use it. That's what it's here for. Not to be claimed as ownership by anyone, not to be possessed by any one group as being theirs and denying others access to it. That was not its purpose. It is here for the benefit of all that can benefit from it, even a squirrel or a worm. If it can benefit from the oil, it's here for the worm and the squirrel. Now, what am I saying, ladies and gentlemen? I'm saying that the fact that we do have people with their titles on it, with their ownership on it, that is basically because the same kind of con games, or you don't even have to call them con games. You can just call them organizational structures. Being absent the knowledge of the true spirit of the creation of earth, not knowing that, knowing it and not giving it any respect, allows people to do what they have done, contractually do stuff. And they have structured up the God stuff that was given to all of us to benefit the way it benefits. It benefits some in part of the country one way, others in another. Various states do the same thing, do one thing in one state and different in another state, carving it up. And then certain things that are common throughout all of the states, so you unify that and say we're going to do it that way. But it happens different in other states. It's all a bunch of stuff, ladies and gentlemen, where people construct what they're going to do for the people, being absent the best way that works for all. Now look here in the United States. You have, let's say approximately, give or take, 331 million people. 331 million of you and I walking around here on this earth, or here somehow. Now, of that 331 million people, 20 million of them, 20 million of y'all, because I'm not included, but I'll say 20 million of us are millionaires. 20 million of us are millionaires. That basically means, as I said before, that we have access to life, meaning we can do those things that we want to do, because they always say, with money, you can do anything. And so when you're a millionaire, we can do anything. You see how that construction works? You see how they give athletes millions and millions of dollars for playing their sports, hundreds of $1,000,000 if they extend the contract for a period of time. But teachers get nothing like that. Teaching you how to do everything that you can do. Never get a contract like that. But the system and the powers that be that exploits the systems, that exploits you, use the system to exploit you, the people, use the system to exploit us, the people. Set it up that way and got it, and we just follow suit. Got the politicians going along with it, and we just follow suit. Now, not only do we have 20 million of us that are millionaires, there are approximately 600, give or take a few, 614 billionaires. Now, these can do things that the millionaires wish they could do. You know, they all can go up out of space, up to space now and float around, but the billionaires can make the ship that take them up there. Now, look at that. 20 million millionaires. 614 billionaires. Do you know we still got over 300 million plus of the rest of us who going through changes? And we call this the United States of America, a democracy. That's what we've called it. Where majority rule, supposedly. And how in the heck can 300 million of you, how can 300 million of us allow $20 million, not 614 billion, 600, I mean, how can we allow that few number to be lords over the rest of us? What kind of education have they given us? What kind of spiritual guidance that they have given us to make us so weak, to make us suffer so much, to make us lie and make us go against one another, to make us persecute one another, put each other down as they prosper, and we get thinner and thinner? What is the game that has been played on us, ladies and gentlemen, that says that's okay? Every last one of us know that the resources of the earth came from a power we can't see. We know it came from God. But we let the nation and laws and rules that we were born into guide us and make us prisoners, bondage under this system of government. I'm not just talking, wait a minute. Let me get some clarity here. Eddie, are you denouncing the system of government of the United States? Are you denouncing the system of government that you have been living under all of your life? No, let me tell you what I'm doing. In the midst of the government that I've been living under all of my life, I'm standing up here in the midst of this government. That means under the midst of you, the people, the whole nation of people whom you have evolved around me and I have revolved around you for all of these years. And I'm standing here as your brother, your elder brother, and I'm telling you that there are those of you who are following dictates of a system that's abusive and oppressive. It makes you feel wonderful. It's every man's dream, but it's sucking the lifeblood out of others. I'm standing here in the midst of all of you, telling those of you that there are those who are sucking the lifeblood out of you, not because they hate you, but because it's how they understand life to be. It's legal. And you, who are going through all of this suffering, Not because you want it, but because you have no recourse. You don't know what to do about it. And the system is set up in such a way that it makes it very, very complicated for you to accomplish anything outside of what's normal. And what is going to be required to straighten the situation out is going to take something that is not normal. It's going to take the truth. It's not going to take a normalized lie. It's not going to take anything called affirmative action. That won't work here. It's justice. It's respect. It's compassion. It's love that will give you peace, give you prosperity and freedom and joy of your life and the fulfillment of your dreams, where you don't have to suffer for a lack of nothing. Your wants and your needs and your desires are met. You're never suffering from a lack of food, clothing, shelter, education, or health care, because you are engaged in the process. You have something that you can contribute to this, and you get your greatest joy by doing it. And it's cross-sectioned in such a way by the power that created this earth that all of the things that you want, need, and desire are made manifest in such a number that nobody suffers without. So I'm standing in the midst of you, telling you, in the midst of wherever I am, in the midst of America's government, in the midst of the world system, I want you to know that God's government works. And it's the only government that's going to be the answer to your prayers. Yes, that's what I want you to know today. So ladies and gentlemen, I still don't want you to do anything but talk about this, think about what I've said. Go to your churches, talk to your preachers about it. Challenge them. Not to put them down or to bring them down or to make them feel bad, but to make them think. To let them feel that maybe giving $1,000 seed is not the answer to the problems of the community. Come on, just talk about it. Talk about it, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for giving me this, your time. And until next, Eddie Marcus say goodbye.